Hello, my makeup loving friends. How's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, my name is Teresa, and we have releases and rants. It's been a week, and you'll notice we don't have Tia. We have the beautiful, wonderful, incomparable Wilma Fingerdo.
The other makeup tramp.
Yeah, we must have at least 2 makeup tramps per week.
Yeah.
It's, a makeup tramp a week keeps the doctor away or something like that. You know the drill. I'll have all of Wilma's details down below. She has a fantastic channel, mostly talking about like RuPaul's Drag Race and all the kind of stuff around that. So yeah, so if you're like me and you're too lazy or don't have time to watch all of the episodes, she gives you a nice rundown so that you can still be like hip and down with the young things. So I can be like, oh yes, that is snatched. So it's quite helpful for me, so I can pretend that I'm cool. But
so you can hang out with the cool kids.
Exactly, that's all I want. But I'll leave Wilma's details down below. She also has a Patreon, and it's great times, fun times. But you know the drill. If you guys didn't tag me, there would be no content. So a big thank you to Brianna, Ali, Beth, Gillian, Trendstopia, Makeup Release Radar, Miss Charlie, Chrissy, JW, Tony Homeperm, Miss Atia, Wilma Fingerdo, Makeup Magpie, Claire Sailor, Natalia Yvonne, Camille, Manuela O, Shanna, Rhea, Tina, Cecily, Kylie, Shalina, Nicola, Lisa G, and Gina. A big thank you to all of you, and a big thank you to my Patreons. And we have a birthday this week.
Oh, fabulous.
I know. Well done. Very, very happy birthday to Katie. And I've been very remiss, bad Teresa. I forgot to bring birthday cards with me on my little tryst down to Mayo. So you're going to get a very, very late birthday card filled with a
worth the wait.
Yes. It's covered in loveliness. No STDs, I promise. Yes. Anyways, we obviously are keeping with our theme of Pride. As I have said before, it is open for anyone to submit pictures to me, and for every picture that I get, I'm going to be putting 10 cents into or towards Belong To, which is an LGBT charity here in Ireland. I kind of decided that what I was going to do is I'm going to have a blanket thing of definitely putting in €20. And then for everything after that, then it's adding an extra 10 cents. And Wilma, being the fabulous human that she is, has said that she will match my contributions. So
yes.
Remember that.
Get those wee Scottish gay barons together.
So if you didn't manage to get anything in this week, fret not, because next week is your last opportunity to do so. So I expect to be flooded.
Now, I have 2 more pictures.
Send them.
The one that you're showing today is not this look. I have 2 more looks, this one and another one. Am I allowed to just dump a bunch on the last day?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. The more the merrier. So okay. That being said, a few of you have sent me on your pictures, so I will show them to you now. Much huzzah. Fabulousness. I don't like, though, that you guys always show me up. Very upsetting. We do have new makeup to talk about, and this first one, I want to be very enthusiastic about things, but I feel like I've lost my joie de vivre for new makeup releases, and it feels like it's quite well conceptualized in this release from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, because I'm just looking at it and kind of going, oh, okay, I guess. There's bronzers, they're $32 each. She did make a change though. I know, $32.
$32 for one little bronzer?
No, but she got into so much trouble the last time she came out with bronzers because they weren't inclusive enough, and now she's gone, here, quickly. So she's come out with a better range this time around. She also has these reflective light putty highlighters. They're $29 each. Again, quite a hefty price tag, but she is known for doing decent highlighters, so I'll give her that much. And then, can somebody please explain to me, because I am so confused as to what this fad is about, like lip oils. I don't understand.
What is a lip oil? Is it like a sheer lipstick?
I cannot figure it out, because I have these ones from Beauty Bay, which are the lip oils, the jelly lip oils, and I'm like, is this not just like a gloss? So then I'm I'm just very confused. But these lip oils from Jaclyn are $20 US each. Yeah, it's expensive.
Well, it's Jaclyn Hill.
Yeah.
Isn't she one of the ones that had a lot of trouble with her products online? And yeah, and I think that because she has that pedigree of being one of those YouTube makeup influencers before it all fell apart, I think she still thinks that she's special. And quite frankly, I have never thought anything she did was special. I don't have one of her palettes, but then I'm not a day walker, I'm a drag queen. You know, there's a hard difference between regular makeup for people just going through life and performance makeup. So Jaclyn Hill is one of those people that I've never been impressed with. She just seems to be re-releasing the same color story, just switched around, and for the same money. And what staggers me is people are paying it. So she's either onto something or she's a great illusionist or some such thing.
I think it's that she's just a really good salesperson.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people have a lot of affection towards her. Like, I personally, I like to see people doing well. I felt really bad for her when the whole lipstick thing happened, and I was just like sitting there kind of going, oh.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to fail in a business.
Yeah. And like, I'm glad to see that, like, she kind of does keep like dusting herself off and getting back up. And I'm like, okay, that's a good message overall to send people. But there's been nothing, and I mean nothing, that she's come out with that I'm interested in. And this is no exception. Like, I'm somewhere between, you know, that performative makeup and everyday makeup. I would wear this on an everyday type thing. This would be my usual sort of makeup. So it's definitely not Jaclyn's aesthetic. So what she's trying to sell to me is not really what I would be interested in, except for maybe like highlighters or whatever here and there. But I'll be honest with you, there's really good ones out there that are like a fraction of the cost. And when in doubt, I just go straight into an eyeshadow palette and just go.
I just don't see what's so special about those colors that one little pot is worth as much as a whole palette. And you know that those pans aren't deeper than a regular pan. They're just in a deeper shell. So the idea makes you think it's more.
Yeah.
But it's not. Even those, look at how thin those little highlighter palettes are. I mean, highlighters are different. I get it. You know, the formula, and it's like multi-chromes and all that. Like, I get it. But this is why Colourpop does so well, is companies like this throw out, maybe it is the best bronzer. Maybe it lasts all day. Maybe it looks like you just got home from Saint-Tropez. I don't know. But $30 for one, and you know you can't have one. You need a couple if you want dimension.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for me. I will say I'm not great with bronzers anyway. I struggle to find a bronzer because I am a Victorian ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything just makes me look a little bit
manic. You need like that shade down from Manila Envelope. If you were wanting to see something new from Jaclyn Hill, what would it be?
I want to see her do the bullet lipsticks again.
Yeah, yeah. Redeem herself.
Those shades looked really nice.
I love a bullet lipstick.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I would really like to see her kind of go, I know there was a problem before, but let me show you how much I have handled it and how good this is now.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see from her. Like, that I would be all for. When I put it to you guys, 25% if you love it. So similar opinions on that one. I'm excited about this one, mostly because of what's kind of happening in the background of this. This is Uoma Beauty, and they have their Make It Black Freedom palette. It is limited edition. It's $44. And yes, it is a fairly neutral palette, but it has some duochrome formulas, which they haven't actually done before. So that is something quite new for them. But what is interesting is 100% of the net proceeds, not net profit, net proceeds are going into Make It Black Official, which is an organization that supports Black founders through the Small Business Impact Fund. So they're putting their money where their mouth was. You know, was it a year ago or 2 years ago where there was the whole Make It Black Official thing happening and so many brands jumped on board? Uoma have kept their promise and are really doing this. So they have the palette for $44 and then there's also these fabulous 4 lipsticks. Like there's that black, the red, and the 2 sort of neutral shades. And what I love is the way that they've presented these and showing them on different skin tones and how they look. I like having that information because it helps me make more of an informed choice. And I believe they're about $20 each. I mean, is this necessarily the most innovative eyeshadow palette ever? No, but I think that they have done this for a really smart reason, because this is going to capture a lot of people's interest, because a lot of people like neutral. Let's be real, not all of us are like fucking fun-loving parakeets. Some people like a bit of neutral, and duochrome is very on trend. I think this is a very safe way for a lot of people to get their neutral on and get some duochrome, and they've done it so that the money will go to like really good places. So I think they've actually been really smart in the way, like if they come out with a colorful palette, I don't think it would maybe generate the same money for that cause. And I think they've actually made a very deliberate, calculated decision on that part, which I'm like,
I have to say, the thing I like about this palette is that from a business point of view, them giving 100% of the proceeds to a charity that actually helps who they want to help is a great incentive for someone to try a product they've never tried. And this palette, you know, I'm not a fan of neutrals, but I like that one line is neutrals and then the rest all seem to be shimmers or something. And it's hard to photograph in duochrome. So they've made an attempt with that peachy one and that yellow one. Then there's that lighter blue and that green. Like, who's to say what they'll look like on? And they might look different every time. But I really think that this is a great way for people who've not tried a duochrome to try, because $40 for that palette's not bad.
I totally agree. I think this is really smart. Like really,
and
really smart.
If you've never tried Uoma, is it Uoma?
Uoma.
This is a great opportunity, especially, you know, there's so many brands of makeup out there that reach a zenith and then they stop caring, or they start, business management has told them you need to make it cheaper, and then they do, and then it changes. And like, I find these indie brands, like this would be, especially because it's limited, this would be something worth snapping up just for the uniqueness of it and because it's helping. I'm on a no buy myself. And as I say, you know, daywalkers are great with the multi-chromes, but us drag queens are not. Once you get lights on them, you really don't see that, or you see that shift and it's a color you didn't want there. Do you know what I mean? So it can be hit and missy for me, which was also my drag queen name in high school.
Yes, but, I got it in there.
but yeah, if I was just looking for a new palette, like right there, that they've got a nice black. All the other tones look like they'd be good to, you know, deepen a crease, highlight a brow bone, but that wash of color, like a not just a one and done, but like maybe a 2 or 3 and done. Like that's yeah.
I think this is done in such a way that it isn't going to frighten people off.
No.
And it's going to capture the biggest audience that it possibly can. And it is very different to anything that Uoma has done before, because their palettes usually have like quite a hint of color to them. So this is different for them. And I just, I like Uoma. I've like got a few things from them and I really enjoy their quality. So I am all for this. I think it's great.
You know, you're going to go to their website and buy this palette. You're going to pick up something else.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be something. So this, again, I can't express this enough, but I can't believe more companies don't do things like this to just entice new clients, new customers, because at some point you reach a saturation. Like you're the people that like your product and the people that follow you have everything. That's like me with Juvia's Place. It's like, I have everything. Every time I get a notice from them that something's on sale, it's like, well, I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's indie brands like this that they tend to push the boat out in terms of like the causes that they're supporting. And I think a lot of the beauty community are really receptive to that. And like, if you want to be really, I don't know, cynical, it is just a good marketing ploy. So I don't care if it's marketing ploy or not, I still like it. And when I put it to you guys, 59% of you loved it.
Oh, That's pretty
Yeah.
high.
It is quite high because we have a very discerning amount of people in here. Like I've been looking at the stories, kind of going,
Which
oh,
we'll see on the next product.
God, yes, actually. And now for a palette cleanser that tastes of shit. This is, I mean, Revolution are one of those kind of brands that don't really have their own identity. They just
No, it's because
like,
they do too many collabs.
yeah, well, they remind me a little bit of Mystique from X-Men. They just kind of like assume the identity of something nearby them, or Ditto if you're into Pokemon. This is giving me major like Colourpop vibes, you know, when they did their 5-pan palette, which was, by the way, a dupe of the Natasha Denona's. Everything's duping everything. But this is their Ready Set mini match, which I'm like, okay, grand. So there's 5 different palettes. There's Cherry Please, Friday Feels, Oopsie Daisy, Peach Please, and Fried Egg. And they are £5 each. I mean, what can be said? That fucking Oopsie Daisy palette is aptly named because it is a mistake. It's so bad.
What's the fried egg about? Can somebody please tell me that a bunch of people making more than you and I will ever see in a lifetime were sat in a room and looking for names, and they had that colorway, and they're like, well, what does it? Fried egg, do it, you know.
But no fried egg has those colors.
No, well, it
It
depends. If you burn the butter, it could end up crunchy on the edges.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a badly done egg.
Yeah,
isn't really
like where's the orangey yellow color?
Yes, it's.
I have to tell you, the only palette of this group that I like is the yellow case one with the blue, pink.
Yeah, the Friday Feels. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah, I like when I saw that picture, that was the one I was like, oh, well, that's cute. Like if somebody said you have to buy one, okay, I'll take that one. Because the others,
the head scenario.
that red one, the cherry one, where are the cherries?
But also, where's the depth?
Yeah, like it's
a lot of
like
these
it's been
palettes
faded in the sun.
But that's the thing. A lot of these palettes are totally lacking that depth and dimension, which is, by the way, possible even if you have a 5-pan palette. I don't care what anyone says. You can put a darker tone in there.
Yeah.
But like
that's not a palette people of color are going to be buying because it's just going to be chalky.
Terrible. But even like with the orange, the Peach Please one, the darkest shade in there is a shimmer. Like what?
What's the point?
It's fucking atrocious, and it annoys me. And yeah, like you're saying, the Friday Feels one, which has like an orange, a yellow, a pink, and 2 blues, that's the most kind of interesting. Is it a cohesive color story? Absolutely fucking not. Like you'd probably have to like depot them and use them with other things, which kind of
there's just some basic rules to makeup. You want to put depth and shadow in. You can't have sparkle. You can't bring light into that. You need it to be dark. And, you know, if you're going to blend a crease out in that, you know, it needs to be matte. Even if it's the one matte you have, if it's a buildable matte, then you're fine. But
I feel like what happened here was they had like one of those spinning wheel things that they have in casinos. And there was like corresponding numbers, 2 colors, and they were like, and 52. Oh, we're going to put a blue in, and 3.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to put an orange in. Like that's.
Do you feel like they ordered the plastic cases first and then tried to put makeup in it?
Honestly, it does feel like that, yeah. And it does feel like the Friday Feels one in particular.
This is the kind of thing that makes me feel sad for people who don't realize there are options. You know, it's Revolution, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so that's a drugstore brand here. I mean, we don't carry in Canada the extent of their range, but we do carry it in our drugstores here. I don't know. It just breaks my heart that people go into a drugstore, think that's the height of makeup shopping, and walk out with something like that, and then they don't know what to do with it. And you wonder why people end up with one of those makeup bags that's like literally you're going to give yourself lockjaw if you use any of it.
But like I like to think that I know stuff about makeup and that I can use makeup to a decent degree, but yeah. I wouldn't know what to do with these palettes.
No, these are for kids. These are for kids. This is a stocking stuffer. This is a Christmassy thing. And by the time Christmas rolls around, they'll all be $2. And that's fine. You know, if you've got some fabulous kid at home that's just itching to throw makeup on their face, they don't care much what it is. These are what those are for. You know, at the beginning of someone's makeup journey, you don't want to spend the big bucks.
Yeah. When I put it to you guys, 19% if you loved it. Then we have Cara Beauty, and they have 2 duo series. So it's a mishmash of shadows, blush, and highlighters. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like having face products in with your shadows, this ain't going to be for you. I'm thinking of Tia. That's stressed.
Yeah, Tia.
Personally, I don't mind.
I don't mind either.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh look, convenient. They're all together.
Especially if you travel, if you have a couple of like only one palette where everything's in there that you use and that you will use, then that's great for traveling. But
yeah.
So is those are 2 separate palettes, or are they 4?
This is the thing. So there are 2 separate palettes, the See Me Shine, blue toned, and then there's like an orange tone, basically palette together. And then there's the Sky High Deep Dreams, which I'm really confused by the color story on that one, because the bottom one makes sense because you see the pinks and you're like, okay, that's really pretty. And then the top one, you're like, huh? What's going on here? It feels a bit disjointed. I understand the See Me Shine thing because, you know, there's that traditional thing of putting oranges and warm tones with blues. I mean, whatever. It's not exactly reinvented.
Yeah, they're complementive. So.
Yeah. So like, fair enough. I'm a bit confused with the Sky High Deep Dreams one. I think the bottom one is really nice. I like the look of that for like a really gentle, romantic sort of a look. But then the shadows from the corresponding top palette don't really make a lot of sense with it. It's very disjointed, like I couldn't use them together. Very strange.
Yeah, like I wonder why they didn't do one palette of the shadows and then create a quad of those big pans.
Yeah.
Because a face palette, I love a face palette.
I mean, I'd have liked that as well. Like,
it's just confusing. I'm not saying change isn't good, but it's like those of us out there that don't like odd shaped palettes. It's the same thing. It's like there's nothing wrong with the makeup in them. It's just I don't like it. There's something about it that I don't like it. And if you take those chances, you have to also accept that those chances are going to affect your sales. I mean, I'm not much bothered by packaging. You know, like if there's a great artwork on a palette, that's fabulous. Do I care? No. How's the makeup? That's what I care about. You could sell everything like with just a sticker that says the name of the palette. Bright mattes on a black palette, I would still buy it because those bright mattes are fantastic. But I feel like sometimes people go to the trouble of packaging and being unique, and this is very confusing. Like just to look at it, it's confusing. And then you open it and it's like 2 completely separate palettes. They have nothing to do with each other in the same palette. And you've got 8 colors that really don't complement really. And then like I'm looking at the Sky High one, that orange, gorgeous blush, that's stunning. But the highlighter, I don't know, it looks pink. I don't think that would go with that.
Yeah, but this is the other thing as well. Like by putting a blush and a highlight in this way and not having variation, this does mean that this is only going to be for very specific people. So
how much are they?
$17.99 each.
See, these are for kids too.
Yeah.
I look at that, how bright the packaging is, and it gives you, when you open it, it gives you that false sense of variety.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on. So most people that shop don't shop for makeup all the time, not like we do. And if you're buying makeup for, again, somebody in your life who's either starting a makeup journey or exploring other venues or trying something new, or they're just a makeup fan, you could pick up something like that cheap, throw it in a stocking, or tape it to the side of a bottle of wine and call it a day. If somebody gave me one of those as a present, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, this is definitely kind of kid makeup. I'm really confused with the swatches and the way they've presented those, as well as the little tiny dots.
Yeah.
I'm like, how I cannot derive anything from this.
No, it's like they know it's crap, so they're trying not to give you too much of a ground hold on it.
Look over here, not over here.
Well, look at how unpigmented those little dots are.
Oh, it's disappointing, really.
Like, I don't understand why they did the little starburst as opposed to like a bar, because the bar would have at least given you more color to look at.
Yeah. Look, they might as well have just not done swatches.
Oh, God bless them. They had nothing else to do, and hopefully they'll learn a lesson.
When I put it to you guys, when you looked at the Sky High Deep Dreams duo, 19% of you loved that, but you felt a little bit more favorably to the See Me Shine duo, with 23% of you loving it. And I think that makes sense because that was a smidge more cohesive than the other one. The trend of cream bronzers continues. This time we have Pacifica, and this is their Sun Dreams cream bronzer, and it comes in 5 shades, and they're $15.61 each.
Now we're talking. 15 bucks.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
that's not bad.
These are cream as well.
Yes.
Were the Jaclyn Hill ones cream?
Matte pressed bronzer. So that was all it said. Yeah.
So they're not. It's not even a cutting edge bronzer.
No.
Like creams are all the deal now.
That's the thing, and I'm a hoe for it. I'm like, yes, cream based products. You will hide my aging process. So
I'm so sorry. Who's made these?
this is Pacifica, which I don't really know that much.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's 5 shades, which, you know, on the surface of it, you kind of go, oh, 5 bronzers. But
it looks like there's a bronzer there for you.
Yeah. I will say that. Like they've gone to an extreme depth and then an extreme light. So I think this will work out really nicely.
And the great thing with bronzer is you build it anyway. So you really don't need a variety of shades. You just need a good stretch of tones.
Exactly. And I think this is going to work out really, really nicely for makeup artists. Because if they got all 5 of these for their kit, boom, they're done. They're grand. I like this. I think this is like really pretty decent. And apparently coming out on the 26th of June. So as you're watching this, get your clocks ready. It's coming out. It will be here soon. I like this. I like cream bronzers.
How do you apply them, with a brush or sponge?
I put them onto a sponge.
Because, you know, you and Tia go on about your cream products, which I understand, but I'm not a fan of them myself. But I bought some cream contour, which is the same thing. But somehow or another, because I'm putting it on with a brush and it's in a palette, it's not that. So I don't know. It's weird. I still like, it's like, oh, that's a nice blush. Oh, it's a cream blush. Oh.
But like I put them on with a brush as well. Like there's one that I have, there's a brush here I have from Zoeva, and I absolutely love it. It's the 118, the multi-liquid, and it is perfect.
Yeah.
A multi-use brush, so I can use it for lots of different things, and it's been great for putting on like cream bronzers and cream highlights and anything along those lines. I like it so much that I bought 2.
Well, that said, I think that something like this is a much more user-friendly range, because even that very light one, the manila envelope one, it looks like you could put that on and not see it at all at first. Do you know what I mean? Which is the way you want to do bronzer. You don't want to put your brush on and look like you've been hit. Exactly.
Yeah, I think this is done really well. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's a cream bronzer.
And look at that inclusivity with 5 pieces.
I know, this is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to come out with like 50 shades. Just make sure that you have something that hits the really deep tones and the really light tones.
Yeah, and I love that bricky color too, because, you know, that's a good bronzer tone for some skin.
Yeah. It's done well. When I put it to you guys, 31% of you love it. Beauty Bay were kind of teasing us and kind of going, oh, we're going I know.
Makeup tease.
I know that my brain...
My heart skips a beat every time Beauty Bay. You just have to say it. I'm like, oh, are they doing something new?
I know. And I was like, oh, I've literally just gotten something from them, but I will buy from them again because it's an issue and let's not discuss it. But they were like, oh, here's the thing. And I was kind of thinking, well, I wonder, it might be skincare stuff because they have their skincare thing. I was fucking wrong.
I guessed skincare.
Yeah.
It seems to be the new trend.
A lot of people did. But no, it's hair care. And I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. I have
no hair, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I do so little with my hair as it is. I just about wash it, you know. that's my level of self-care. Things are going great, guys. But yeah, they had a lot of things, like there were like different sets for like repairing, hydrating, scalp, all that sort of thing. I mean, I don't exactly wander into the shampoo aisle of Tesco and go, oh yeah, Head and Shoulders, and get excited about it. Like it doesn't get me excited. So I was like, oh, this feels like a bit of a letdown. But I know a few of you guys were kind of like, oh, okay, this is interesting, because I know a few people are like really good with taking care of their hair. I can't relate.
Especially if you spend money on your hair. If you're bleaching it or dyeing it or constantly going for that and putting chemical on your hair, you want something to re-nourish it without ruining the money you spent on the color and all that. So yeah, I get when stuff like this is popular for people, but I'm one of those people, like that 3-in-1 body gel shampoo, like that's who I am. I don't, if I have to take more than that into the shower, then I must be, on the run. How apt are you going to be to try Beauty Bay's line of, or their range of hair care products, when there's already a myriad companies on the shelves in these drugstores that already do all of that?
Yeah.
All of it, and at a fraction of the price in some cases.
Yeah.
So I always find when a company branches out, it makes me think, oh, they got bored with makeup. It's like Juvia's Place did that with skincare. It's like they don't know what to do with makeup, so they're going to skincare.
And I mean, Revolution has done it as well. They did skincare and then hair care. So I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay.
I think when a company releases like a makeup remover, thank you for buying our makeup. Now here, take it off. Yeah. That makes sense. Like if I'm going to buy Beauty Bay palettes, I'm going to buy a makeup cleaner remover while I'm there. Why not? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't need from Beauty Bay hair care or, those Rolling Stones or. Oh, no. I'm the same. Too much for me. I cannot be arsed at all. If I were living in Europe, those companies in Europe that like have done hair care for ever and do it well and like cutting edge hair care, you're really putting a lot of eggs in a basket if you want to compete with that. And I think on one level, the only way you can compete is to make it less expensive, and then that just says to me that you're cheaping out somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll take Beauty Bay a little while with this product before it takes off at all. Yeah. I would be like, if I cared about this sort of thing, which I don't, because no time, I would be looking probably to my hairdresser and going, is this all right? Is this going to work for me? Yeah. What's the story with the ingredients? And this is the other thing, especially women that do spend time on their hair, they have a relationship with their hairdresser that allows them to say, what is that? Is that worth it? Should we, like I would buy that once, just to be able to walk into my hairdresser and together look through it. What does this do? How does it feel? Because, I think you should try everything once. We all have that college experience. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I think a lot of you were in the same boat as us. Thank God, I love a little bit of an echo chamber. When I put it to you guys, 29% of you loved it. Oh, this next one brings... Oh, can we just have a moment? Can we just have a moment? How many more of these brown tone palettes do people have to keep making before everyone realizes that there are really only 4 or 5 shades of brown? Honestly, like it's so, but you know what? I will say something. I don't know if it's positive or not, but Missa put the screenshot of this into the group, into our WhatsApp. And before even looking at the description to see that it was Wayne Goss, I knew it was Wayne Goss just looking at it. So I was like, I guess it looks like Wayne Goss for sure. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I guess at least in that way, like he's keeping on brand with his thing. But that being said, I have definitely seen eyeshadow palettes exactly like this in the body shop. Yeah. This is nice. Like I have to say, it's classy looking. Like if you're somebody who likes to spend money on money, there you go. 2 dark browns are exactly the same. Yeah. What's the point? Like I know that my fancy aunt would enjoy this because, she likes to shop in the expensive shop. Yeah, and she likes people to know that she shopped. Yeah. To which I'm like, okay, fair enough. But not in a month of Sundays would I ever spend $55. That little palette's $55 $55 with the pencil? Without the pencil. Yeah. If you wanted to get the pencil as well, the pencil is $14. It's just a wood pencil. I know.
And
now I have to
then
tell you, I'm so thrilled that it's a wood pencil. I
Yeah.
hate retractables. I like to sharpen. I find retractables always break off, so I only ever use like a third of the product.
But it's much more hygienic anyway, like, and it makes sense. That's what like makeup artists use anyway. But I just like, they've, by the way, bundled it together for $69. And I'm like, again, you don't understand what bundle is, because that's the exact same price.
That's not, they should have bundled it for 50.
Yeah.
Like for $50, I might buy that for a bougie friend who works at a bank. Because clearly they can't put color or sparkle on their lids. So,
it's an accountant's palette. That's what it is. But in my mind, I was thinking to myself, okay, $55, right? That is twice the price of this.
Yeah.
So like, do I want to get a 6-pan palette for $55 when I could get 2 of those lovely big 42-pan palettes, one for me, one for a friend, and have a bit of money left over?
Oh, screw the friend. Get the 2.0 and you might as well get the old bright mattes, because you know you've worn that out.
This is what I'm saying though. Why would I do that when there are so many like more innovative, interesting options out there? Like, I don't get it at all.
I also have to remind myself that a very small percentage of the population wear makeup like we do. You know what I mean? Like there might feel like when you turn on YouTube that there are all these people cutting creases and rainbowing it up, and it's not true. 90% of people, I think, need a palette like that to get through their crappy day at their crappy job, you know?
Meanwhile, I'm swatching
something that makes them look like they haven't been pulled backwards through a fence, and go for it. Yeah. So whenever I see a lot of neutrals in a palette, that's what I think. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But not every palette needs to have, like, if you're especially doing a range of looks, you should have definitely one good neutral bridal palette, one good rainbow palette, and then do what you want after that. But Wayne Goss has never done a color.
Yeah.
And why does he keep like, if he said this was a reformulation, then fine. Or a configuring, then fine. But it's just another one of his products that it's just, it breaks my heart, because I like Wayne Goss. Like I used to watch his tutorials all the time. And
very talented, extremely talented.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing, but he's also aiming for the broader number. More people will buy that palette than something you and I would buy. You know, like, I'd love to know what Beauty Bay's numbers are for palettes like the Bright Mattes or the Bright Mattes 2.0 that are like a riot of color, because most people look at that and their mind shuts down. They don't know how to put that on their face. But I'd like to know, really, like, are those palettes as big a seller for Beauty Bay comparatively to something more neutral, like, not that they sell Wayne Goss, but a neutral palette like that, because they have the nudes. I'd like to know, what do the bright mattes do against the nudes?
Beauty Bay, send us the numbers, please.
Yes, we're inquiring minds. That said, I have the nudes and I have the bright mattes.
Yeah, but again, why would I buy a $55 6-pan when I could get the 9-pan nude from Beauty Bay for like €9?
And you know that the thing that also with Beauty Bay is their product is spectacular. Like, spectacular. You can't deny how good it is. Whereas with Wayne Goss, it doesn't need to be pigmented like color makeup does. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Beauty Bay nudes was better than that palette.
Same. Yeah. I would go so far as to almost bet money on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I, in the nicest way possible, don't care. And neither do you guys, because 7% of you loved it.
Only 7. That restores my faith in humanity.
Well, let that faith in humanity get shattered by
no. Oh, I'm not strong enough. Hold my hand.
This is just, I mean, it's so bad. This is their Wild West mini palette. So they've changed the structure. They used to do like the long rectangular palette, but now they've changed it, which is annoying.
Who is this? I'm sorry.
Urban Decay.
It is Urban Decay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, the fact that I had to ask, because the Urban Decay stuff, you always knew. It was literally almost the exact same palette except for that one pop of color. It seemed like it was the same 12 shades except for that one pop of color, and they switched it out. I have to say, if I hadn't seen the word naked, because that immediately made me think it was from that line, I wouldn't have thought that was from them. It's just, it's different. It's that green pop of color makes sense with the browns and that yellow. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, if you're a day walker and you work somewhere boring, this is probably whore makeup for you.
Yeah,
and
fair.
Yeah, but it's I think it's so tasteful. Like, I'm just surprised because Urban Decay, like, I've just gotten to a point with them where it's like I don't even listen. You know,
they're just
fast forward.
I like, and this is just essentially a re-release of the Wild West palette that they already have, but just whittled down, and it's $27. And do you know what? If they had made it so it was $15, then I'd be like, grand. I've not
$15 would be good for that.
Yeah.
6 colors. It's only got 6.
Yeah.
$30. No.
Exactly. Right. So I think they would have been better if they had priced it around.
Hold up your 2.0 again.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, I mean, I get it. This will work for a lot of people. It's the neutrals, the pop of blue. They're all colors that like complement each other, but they literally have this in their other palette, in the bigger Wild West.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Urban Decay, you have this.
Exactly. You literally.
I know that green is in one of the other Urban Decay palettes. I know because those kind of colors are the only things that stand out in their palettes.
Yeah, literally. But like, I also know from people who got the Wild West palette that apparently the pigmentation was really bad and the staying power was also very, very poor. And I love that when they were trying to like promote it online, they were like 12-hour wear, and I was like, it worries me that you have to say that as a selling point, because it should already have long wear. Like 12 hours
that should be a given.
Like 12 hours is not long.
No. And let's face it, nobody's wearing makeup for 12 hours, but you know, you're going to do a touch up after lunch. You might do a touch up after getting to work, you know what I mean? Especially if there's been a lot of activity. And you might not touch up to go home, but you're definitely either going to touch up to go out after work or totally change it.
Yeah.
But, you know, none of that makeup needs to last that long. It just needs to show up.
And it doesn't. That's the problem from what I've heard. So I don't get it.
When I started getting into makeup, Urban Decay was on its way, just on its way out. Yeah. I bought one of their eye primers, which I hated because it dried up my lids like the desert. And again, as a drag queen, no offense to anything that Urban Decay was putting out, but none of it was useful to me.
No, but you know, the old school would have been.
Yes, which I didn't. I wasn't there for. Do you know what I mean? I missed that.
I was there for the old school. So I'm looking at this nonsense, going, I remember you when you were interesting. What have you done?
I know Urban Decay really shook up the makeup scene and really made some innovations that are common now, but that's, I think, the problem with companies, that they rest on their laurels, or they think that's enough, or we've got fans, we could just put anything in a box and they'll buy it.
Naked.
Sadly, that's true to a point, but
yeah, and I
mean,
their
numbers have to be dropping. I'd like to see what the reaction to this shape of palette is. Is that the palette in the hand of the swatches?
Yep. I know.
Look how small it is.
For $27. And again, classic thing of the darkest shade isn't actually that dark.
No. Is it a shimmer?
No, it isn't, at least. But for a lot of people, that isn't going to do much on them.
No.
So
on you, it might.
On me, but yeah, everything is dark on me.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing what is called the Editorial Brights palette, and it looks dark on me. So I'm not even taking the piss.
God bless you.
Editorial Brights, and everything is dark on me, because unless I get a pastel, everything is dark on me. That's just being a ghost. I'm
just looking at our two skin tones right now, and I feel like Marge Simpson. I feel so yellow next to you.
I make everyone look like they're extremely tanned. So I think that's why people keep me around, and they're like, stand to the left of me.
Well,
like I've been on
that and your gorgeous tits, let's just say it.
That also, I mean,
I just love them.
I mean, so does the Hill. So
there, now you've been objectified.
Yeah. Oh, that's all I need.
Back to the makeup.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything positive to say about this. It is it's so bad. It's recycled nonsense. And you guys hated it too, because 4% of you loved it.
I think that's the lowest number I've ever seen on a rant and release and rant. People
liked the Hourglass single shadows more than this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, they
So let that sit in your mind. Okay, so next thing is Colourpop have teamed up with Jasmine Chiswell, who is quite well known on TikTok. She has a really vintage style.
I thought that was Marilyn Monroe.
I know.
I was very impressed with that makeup job, because it just looked like a vintage picture of Marilyn. Then I realized it was this woman who I've never heard of.
She's beautiful. It's very upsetting.
Of course, she's beautiful. Look at her.
Yeah, no, she's absolutely, and she's like, she seems really sweet as well. Like, I follow her on TikTok.
Of course, she's sweet.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I'm like, how dare you?
No, she needs some disappointment in life to rein her in.
But she has this collection with Colourpop, and I know I go on a rant about Colourpop every so often, going blur art, but I will say this collection in general actually makes sense for the person that they're collaborating with, because this is 5,000% the sort of thing that she would wear makeup wise.
It's a gorgeous collection.
It really is.
I actually, my jaw dropped when I saw that it was Colourpop, because square pans, that's not Colourpop. Oblong, that's not Colourpop. I normally am never impressed with their lipsticks, and I want all three of them.
It's a really cohesive, well thought out collection.
Yeah. I like that the one palette has the black and the white with the blue.
Yeah.
And then the other one has that darker brown, is it?
Yeah.
With the like off-white and those reds. Like, I know they're two different palettes, but I'm surprised they didn't put them together in one.
Yeah.
These two palettes, like, you would buy one over the other. I think they would complement. I
think so too. And I think that's ultimately what will happen, is people will just gather up all of these like together.
How much are those palettes?
They're $12 each.
Yeah, 12,
yeah.
That's a good price. 24 for both of them. That's still a good price.
Yeah. And then the lip kits are $16. So that comes with the Creme Luxe lipstick and a lippy pencil that corresponds with it.
So the lip kit is one lipstick and one liner.
Yeah.
I see. So per color.
Yeah. I think that's quite smart, you know.
Yeah. No, that's excellent.
And then
their lip liners are automatic pens too, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they have their Luxe glosses, and they're just coming out with two. One is a nude pink, and then the other one is a bright red with gold and pink shimmer, and that's $10.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah. I think this is a really well done collection.
Yeah. I'm very impressed that I'll bet you that this lovely, what's her name?
Jasmine Chiswell.
Jasmine, yeah. I'll bet you that she was very hands-on.
Yeah.
And I'll bet because she's popular on TikTok, they were able to like let her tell them what to do. But I also think with Colourpop, they must realize, like, I'd like to think that they're sitting in an office going, why isn't all of this overselling working? Do you know what I mean? And I think to have somebody like this come in and go, oh, just let her do what I want. We clearly don't know what people want. And I want to buy this. I don't even want the eyeshadows, but I just think it is such a cute little like a collection that's worth buying as a group.
Yeah. It's basically, I think what she's done really well is she's condensed, because Colourpop in the past have just kind of gone bleh and put out 50 million things where maybe 2 or 3 would have sufficed.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to kind of shuffle through the noise to get to the good stuff. And what she's done is just actually kind of gone, here's actually really well thought out pieces, all curated together. Here you go. I like it.
Yeah,
it
I do too.
For her.
I like the retro feel of it.
Yeah.
I like that the makeup itself, that she hasn't overdone it, like you said. I like that there are no shock shadows, because that's not a retro thing.
Yeah.
Shiny shimmers aren't a retro
No,
thing.
it wouldn't have made sense with her style at all. So this is really true and authentic to her. And like you said, I really do feel like she had a really big part to play.
Yeah, I think that I put a yes down for this, because I never, when it's Colourpop, I just say no.
Yeah.
I just won't buy them anymore. You know, I got rid of all my Colourpop. They piss me off. I would have to probably buy that, at least the lipsticks, under an assumed name.
Fair.
But I would definitely buy the lipsticks. If I were to have a breakdown,
same.
I would buy the red and the pink lipstick and their corresponding liners, and be quite happy about that.
It's the lipsticks that are calling to me. That's what I'm like, oh. When I put it to you though, 28% of you loved it. Then we have Galaxy Girl Cosmetics, and they've relaunched. So they had a separate name. I can't remember what it was, but they've relaunched now under the new brand of Galaxy Girl Cosmetics. And they have a whole chunk of stuff. The Future World palette for $50. And that's massive. But over on the right-hand side, it's water activated liners. So not unlike the Cash Beauty Color Trip palette, which I think is quite smart.
Yeah, the one you sent me, I love my Cash. Like, that's always out. I'm always using it.
It's such a bloody good palette. So I think this is like well thought out. They also have some concealers. I will say I feel like they haven't quite gotten to exactly the depth they need. I think maybe one more dark shade and they'd have
concealers by nature are meant to, well, the first way you wear concealer is you put it over your spots first, and then you let it dry and cover makeup. So it's meant to lighten up that red. But when people use concealer for like highlight, I would say that some of those darker colors are a good highlight for a darker complexion. I don't know if it really needs to go too much deeper than that.
See, I always think of Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
And if something isn't going to work for her, that's that.
Yeah, because they look a little bricky, don't they?
Yeah.
They look warm.
Yeah, so I'm like, not all of the darker concealers have to have a red undertone. It doesn't suit
the far light one white, or just a light color? Is it white?
I think it's like a very...
Well, if you have white on one end, you should have black on the other.
Yeah.
Or something close to it. I personally, that's what I think.
Well, that's kind of where my brain is kind of going, that I'm like, I feel like they were so close. You know, it was like 90% of the way there. And if they just added one more extra dark shade, it would have been like really good in terms of their concealers. But everything else is actually, it generally makes sense. Like they have bronzing balms, they have loose powders, they have eye bases. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a decent collection. There's even some glosses in there. How
much are their eye bases?
$15.
Is that all? Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. And I like that there's like a very white one. Yeah. So I use P. Louise mostly, but Rude Cosmetics have some really good ones that aren't expensive. I think they're about $15. And also Suva in Canada. Yes.
They're excellent. Can I tell you, I use their white now for my eyes. Like, so proud that they're Canadian.
Yeah, I think this is like done really, really well.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different bits.
That palette is gorgeous.
Isn't it though?
Yeah,
and
it's
say,
distribution. There's like one or two neutrals.
Yeah.
The three blues that I can see are all different. Actually, no, there's four. Look at that. I didn't even notice that dark blue. Yeah. And they got a black and a white. They have a red activated liner, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think they've like the basis of a really interesting palette there. And $50 isn't...
I mean, I don't need that palette. I mean, have enough of all of that.
To be fair though, for most of us that are watching involved in this process, we don't need makeup. We passed the point of need about 70 releases ago. So, you know, we're okay. I don't have any stats as to what you guys thought of this yet, because this was only announced kind of today. So I can reveal on the screen now what you guys thought. Yeah. But that does mean, guys, that we're heading towards sneak peeks. So these...
I love a sneak peek.
I know, they're so naughty. And this one is a collaboration between Saints, Angels, Sinners and Gourmand Girl. And
you know they were doing that?
Yeah.
I'd not heard anything, and oh my God, I love this palette. palette.
Isn't it fucking amazing?
First of all, anything with plaid on it, I'm buying it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm Scottish.
So cute. It's so
and you never see it. It's not overused plaid. So, you know, I feel like houndstooth, you can throw a stone and hit something in houndstooth, but a plaid. And then these colors, the fact that the plaid colors are these colors is fantastic.
Yeah.
How many palettes do you go, oh, this is gorgeous? You open it up and it's like, what the hell is that? You know?
I mean, this has happened to us on far too.
And this has a black, it has a white. That maroon is deep, which is nice. The blue is nice and deep.
Yeah. So there are 6 mattes, there's 7 duochromes, and 1 multi-chrome.
Yeah. Yeah, I would buy that. How much, do we know how much it'll be?
So Darcy from Saints Angel Sinners was saying that it's going to be around $53. Not bad. Like considering you're looking at multi-chromes.
Well, 15 pans and you've got a multi-chrome in there.
Yeah. I'm
and it's an independent company.
Exactly.
2 independent companies. Like $50 is fair.
Yeah, I think so too. And they're saying that they're looking to come out with this around July 15th. Yeah.
I'm calling Christina.
Yeah, I'm so frigging excited. I know that Darcy has spoken to me and she has said that she's going to send this to me. So I'm like twitching. Just being like, oh.
That green, the dark green next to the black, the light green on that row, and then that minty green up in the corner next to that pink are so, and then under that green, the lawn green.
Do you know what?
Gorgeous.
Do you know what? It's just simpler to just kind of go, what are the shades you don't like? When I put it to you guys, 42% of you love it. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is another sneak peek, and this is from Martine Cosmetics. So we don't know what the whole of the palette looks like, but can I just say this is giving me old school Jeffree Star vibes.
Oh, is it? I see. Yeah, I just think that like soft blue and that baby pink are not Jeffree Star colors, but I think the stamping of everything having an image on it is very Jeffree Star.
But that's what I'm thinking of. And then also their physical packaging, they have the same sort of like case type thing in their palettes.
That's the only thing when I'm looking at marketing and packaging. Now, I won't lie to you, like something like P. Louise, some of their luxe packaging, I love it. Don't get me wrong. But if the palette could have been $30 less from just having a cardboard case without a mirror, I would like that option. Thank you.
I'm intrigued to see what the rest of this looks like. It looks relatively cohesive as it stands. So I mean, I'm not against it. I do know
I do like that corner of colors. Like I don't know why, because I'm not a red eyeshadow person, but that shimmer red with the cherry on it, I want that. And those 2 pinks, the shimmer pink and the baby pink, and that baby blue with the bottle on it. Oh, gorgeous.
I think it looks really, really cute. I will say though, Martine Cosmetics, they are on Beauty Bay, but they tend to be quite expensive because the palettes that they have so far that look to be about the same size as that are about €58. But I'm going to flash the scores up now so we can see. But guys, that is it. So that leads us on to favorite comments. And this was my favorite comment from last week, and this was from the lovely Hagar, who said, I love just because gifts. I thought it was strange and that I was the only one. My family thinks I just like to spend money, but it's not my fault. I keep thinking of everyone. Same, Hagar, same. I'm very guilty of doing that, where I'm just like,
I'm that person. I actually spend, I have a box in my cupboard where if I see something for like that reminds me of a friend or something, I'll buy it and I put it in the box. And then it's like, oh, their birthday's this week. I go to the box. I have stuff in there. I don't give it to them right away, unless if they come over, if they're over, it's like, oh, I bought this for you. You know, I don't necessarily wrap it, but
I tend to be overly excited, and I'm like, I've got something and I'm excited about it. So
look what I did! Look what I did!
So
love me more.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just like, please give me attention. But yeah, I think it's all like a love language thing of like getting people like little things. We're not talking about like getting them a Cadillac or something like that.
No.
I don't know why I thought of Cadillac.
Cadillacs aren't just because gifts.
Yeah.
I need a lift gifts.
Yeah, fair. But anyways, guys, that is it. That is the end of the video. You know the drill. Go follow Wilma in a nice way. You know, she's fantastic. Love her very, very much. And do please like, comment, and subscribe to me, all that sort of thing. And you know, notification bell, all the, you know, look, insert previous monologues here. But most importantly, do please share, because sharing is caring. Unless, of course, it comes to an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.